Y'all, my name is Nora. I use she, her pronouns. I am the mother of two teenagers, both of whom are gender nonconforming. My elder son is in the process of beginning to look for colleges. As we started navigating that process and thinking about that process in today's political social climate, I thought it might be helpful to share some tips and tools and questions and answers and ways to help navigate the college search for LGBTQIA plus students today. Our table of contents today, what I'm going to discuss. First, today's landscape, looking why thinking about finding gender affirming colleges is especially important in today's social and political climate. Then we'll look specifically at navigating the college search for QIA plus students and their families, some questions to ask, red flags to look for, resources that you can seek out. Most importantly, we'll be having conversations with other parents and kids who have recently done this college search for LGBTQIA plus students. All right, today's landscape. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this because one, it will just make me more angry. Two, it'll just depress me. I think it's important to highlight this in light of, as a parent, I want to be able to find a place that is safe for my child. I think a lot of these laws, policies, executive orders, etc., create a atmosphere that may not necessarily feel safe or be safe. So first, I found at least 4 executive orders that could be perceived as anti-LGBTQIA+. The first is defending women from gender ideology, extremism, and restoring biological truth to the federal government. The second is protecting children from chemical and surgical mutilation. The third is ending radical indoctrination in K through 12 schooling. And finally, keeping men out of women's sports. They are linked there if you would like to read them. I would not recommend if you do not want to be angered. Second, I've linked a screenshot of a equality maps snapshot from the Movement Advancement Project. And if you want to look at it and play around with it, the link is at the bottom. But this shows states that have higher overall policy tallies that are pro LGBTQIA plus or gender affirming. I think the important thing to note here is that there are only 15 states plus DC that have a high overall policy tally. There are 17 that have a negative overall policy tally. Important to think about when you are looking at schools and whether you want to be in a state that has good overall high policy tallies. This next slide is specifically for transgender healthcare shield laws. Again, it's from the Movement Advancement Project, and the link to the map is also on the bottom if you want to learn more. Again, there are only 14 states plus DC that have shield laws protecting access to transgender health care. And 34 states and 5 territories, I did not include them on this map, that have no shield laws or policies protecting access to transgender health care. That brings us to navigating the college search for LGBTQIA+ students and their families in a country where I think we just saw there are not a lot of states that are as affirming as I think I, as a parent of children, would like them to be. First are a few questions to ask of either the Pride Club on the campus, admissions office, students, or both. Have they had instances of anti-trans, anti-queer, anti-gay violence or bullying? How do queer and trans students mix with others? Does the college have a non-discrimination policy? What resources and opportunities do they have to support trans queer students? Do they allow students to easily change their name on campus records? Do they have gender inclusive housing? Are there plenty of gender neutral bathrooms available throughout the campus? And finally, does the school health clinic or insurance cover trans medical care? This is 10 college campus red flags for LGBTQ+ students and allies. I got this for free from College Torch. You can as well, but I am sharing it here. The first, you don't see yourself joining at least one of the LGBTQ+ or intersectional organizations on campus. There is almost no overlap between athletics and the LGBTQ+ community. Bathrooms on campus are a huge conversation topics. Bathrooms shouldn't just be there. They should be easy. They don't offer LGBTQ+ housing options, such as an LGBTQ+ living learning community or a roommate matching service to connect students to an LGBTQ friendly roommate. You can't find explicit LGBTQ+ language in mission statements, non-discrimination policies, and other policies. There aren't many out LGBTQ+ faculty and staff. You don't see any pride symbols around campus except at the LGBTQ+ center. You meet the LGBTQ+ center director, but you don't feel much of a connection. The health center does not seem aware or helpful about LGBTQ+ health topics. And finally, run away if the school requested or received Title IX exemption, allowing them to discriminate. Here I have listed some of the resources that I used to provide the information previously, but also some other resources you can look at that are helpful as you navigate this process. The first is campuspride.org, collegetorch.com, jennyb.com, and he lists on his website trans-supportive campus policies and a lot of other resources that are, I believe, connected to. The next is an article on how to find an LGBTQ friendly college or university that is on getschooled.com, which also provided a YouTube video, which is also linked below. And finally, a document PDF about supporting trans non-binary people in post-secondary education. And next, I will go into some conversations with friends and my name is Nora. I use she, her navigated pronouns. This process before. I will have the mother of Barrett two teenagers. Both